Hello everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do the weekly reading for the lovely sign of Aries. Aries, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. It's a beautiful journey and I'm more than happy to have you on the journey with me. If you would like anything from me, personal readings, life coaching, or joining us for classes, everything is in the box below. If you're unsure, you can whip over to the Aussie Goddess Facebook page, like the page, and everything is pinned to the top of the page in more detail. Do remember, if you like the page too, you will be included in the free monthly card draws I pull on there, the mini reads. Okay. We're going to use the Light Seers Tarot for your reading. If the reading doesn't resonate, make sure you check out other aspects of your natal chart. If you're unsure how to do that, you can Google natal chart and just put in the details of your birth. If you don't have your time of birth, you can just sort of set it for no ascendant. That's the only thing that needs your time, well, mostly the only thing that needs your time of birth. Some of the other planets you may have been born when there was a changeover, which may be affected at the time of day, but for the most part it's just your ascendant. Somebody said to me the other day that the time was on your birth certificate, but I don't have a time on mine, and neither do a couple of people that have written to me. So if you don't have the time on your birth chart, apparently you can have that sort of like assessed by someone who's an astrologer and find out what time you were born. If the reading does resonate with you, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. We had the King of Cups jumping out here, so you may be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces or Scorpio this week. All right, Light Seers Tarot. Oh, nice split spirit. And we're ready to go. Oh, I love it. Look what you're starting off with. Woohoo! The Nine of Pentacles. So we've gone dark. Sorry. I don't know why. It doesn't matter how I handle the screen. It just decides it's going to go dark. And sometimes I can get it to go light. There we go. Sometimes it cuts out on me when I do that. So the Nine of Pentacles is a card that talks about independence, self-sufficiency, feeling comfortable in your own skin, having enough money flow, having enough everything around you. You're so very comfortable. Now, it's very much the card of independence. It can be the card of being single. You may have recently become single. You may be thinking of becoming single. You may be in a position where you can now be what you want to be or do what you want to do. But it can also mean independence within a relationship. You do not have to be in the Nine of Pentacles and be single. You could be in a very healthy relationship where you're doing your own thing alongside your partner. So very beautiful card, the Nine of Pentacles. Oh, and then we have the Chariot. Now, this was the card that brought around a major epiphany for me yesterday. The Chariot is a card that talks about getting your opposing forces in line with each other. And as tarot readers, we often see it as a card of moving forward. But actually, it isn't really just moving forward. It can be if you have everything going the way you need it to go. But there's a challenge in getting the white horse and the black horse to go in the right direction. So you have some sort of opposing forces here. So it could be, for example, you want to go in one direction, but maybe you can't find the job you want in that direction. So it's about having everything lined up for you to move that way. Sometimes what we're not looking at is we're so determined to move in one direction that we're not looking at what is holding us back from having what we want and how to, I guess, circumnavigate that first. So it's about getting your horses both going in the right direction, enabling you to move forward. You have a bit of an issue here. Something is holding you back with this Devil card. And I love the Devil card. It is a card of Capricorn, but it's just this card has so much going for it. So we have here a card that says there is something holding you back. Maybe you want to be single. You're trying to get yourself into becoming single perhaps, or more independent. Maybe you want to become more independent, but something says to me with this Devil card that something is holding you back here. Now, it could be as complicated as some sort of addiction, some sort of way of doing it. Maybe you're having trouble getting into sort of the spiritual mind because your ego is still working too hard with you. And maybe it's about letting go of parts of that ego so that you can move forward. Example, if you were in a marriage, for example, that you were trying to get out of, and you'd been taught from a young age that you do not leave a marriage. You do not leave a marriage under any circumstances. Then that is something you've been taught that is in your ego. It's not real. It's what somebody told you, and you've adopted it as your own. Opposing forces here would then mean you have the white horse wanting to be free, and you have the black horse saying you can't be free because you're in a marriage and you've been trained to stay in that. So that is the opposing forces that the ego energy is bringing through. But then we have 3 major arcanas there. Whoa. So we have the Star card coming through, Ten of Swords, end of a negative cycle. So the Star card tells me that you are starting to understand your destiny here. And regardless of what you've been taught in the past, regardless how you've seen things, there is this energy here of you starting to let go of old ways of doing things, old ways of being, traditional ideas. You are letting them go to move in a new direction here with the Star. Because you are releasing here with this Ten of Swords, yes, you may be releasing a very poor relationship. Now, this sort of brings to mind somebody saying to me the other day, they were in are in a very abusive relationship. And they cannot leave the relationship because they are saying that their parents believed that, you know, if you were in a marriage, you stayed in it forever. And even if this person was being incredibly cruel to you, you couldn't leave it. But there was sort of this energy of, if somebody's beating you up physically, then you've got proof of being able to leave it. But if you've got emotional distress or spiritual breaking of the soul, well, that isn't seen. So therefore people can't see why you're leaving a relationship, and therefore it brings shame. There is something closing out for you here though, because you're starting to understand this is something somebody's told you. And I feel like here, this is what you're trying to do. Now, it may not be that marriage is the thing that you're trying to get away from, but what you're trying to get away from has held you bound by some sort of way of thinking or some sort of mind control or some sort of manipulation that you believe that you can't escape from. And I'm here to tell you you can. You can escape from anything. You've got the right mindset. Okay, so King of Wands, you know, I mean, this can be the card of Aries, so let's just run with that and say this is you in the energy you need to be in. The King of Wands is a card that talks about self-sufficiency. It talks about knowing what you want and where you're going, having a vision, having a clear idea of what you want in your life and going for it. This is the energy of the King of Wands. He's a leader. He knows what he wants. He can do anything he sets his mind to, excuse me. All right, so we have the Two of Cups coming through with the Fool card. You have a lot of major arcanas in your reading here with the Queen of Cups. Aries, you have a lot of major arcanas coming through, both in the mini read and now in this one as well. There is a need for you to take a leap of faith. So I believe you are holding yourself back, believing you can't move away from some sort of energy here that's kept you stuck. Now, for some of you, you could be in a soulmate relationship. Now, as I always say, not all soulmate relationships are what we see as a healthy relationship. This is a person often that can create some sort of energy for you to learn from it. So even those poor relationships we have are often soulmates who are brought to us to teach us how to love ourselves more. You could have a soulmate relationship with a partner. It could be a business where you're trying to get out of a business here. But there is this energy of here. I hear people do this all the time. I can't leave. We owe too much money. I can't leave. I don't have the financial resources. Oh my goodness, you would be surprised at how much you can do once you've made your mind up. And that's all you have to do, is you just have to make the decision. Everything will fall into place after that. Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles coming through. with that Four of Cups, which has shown its face a little bit this morning. So there must be something going on in the universe at the moment where people realizing they're dissatisfied with their status quo. All right, and then we have the King of Swords coming through. This was the one that jumped out. I thought it was the King of Cups, but it's actually the King of Swords. This is you taking on this energy to sever things, to cut things out, to move away from things that aren't satisfying you. I feel like you've put up with something for a really long time. It may be a relationship. It could be that you want to move away from a relationship with a family member or a friend. But something you have put up with for a long time here, and you no longer want to work with this energy. This has been a long time coming, but you're severing ties here. Severing ties. All right, so we have the Knight of Cups coming through with the Page of Wands. Wow. I feel like some of you are cutting ties with a partner because you feel like here that you have nothing else to gain from where you are. There's a feeling here that you are discovering how to love yourself here. There's a very strong feeling of self-love. For others of you here, there may be somebody else in the picture here with the Knight of Cups and the Two of Cups. And it could be that you're leaving one situation that hasn't been working for you, that you're dissatisfied with, into a new realm. What's the last card? We'll put some more cards on it. Ace of Wands. Yeah, brand new start here. So some of you, this may be a relationship that you are moving to, but you need to become single first. There is some sort of energy of you needing to get into this single space first. I feel that you're trying to get your horses to move in the right direction. You could also be dealing with a Cancer here. But you're trying to get these energies running in a direction that's the same. I feel like with this idea of these opposing forces, there's this energy of maybe your heart wants something, but your head wants something else. And you've got to pull them in together. The Devil energy tells me that you could be actually in some sort of karmic situation as well. But there's something ego here where you need to release something that you believe is true for you. The star is telling me you have a greater destiny here, much greater than where you are, but you're stuck in this Ten of Swords energy, which is this energy of feeling like you're going to hurt someone here. But I feel strongly this is part of your destiny and you're denying your own destiny here. All right, let me put some more cards on it. So for some of you, this could be walking away from a very toxic relationship or a very toxic partnership with someone. Could be a friend, could be a family member. But I feel like there's a brand new opportunity for you once you walk away. But you've got to decide here to release the ego and follow your heart and follow your destiny. Take on this beautiful King of Wands energy. Because the Ace of Wands is here. So there's definitely a brand new start. There could be for some of you a new offer, a new love offer sitting here waiting for you, possibly with a Libra, Gemini or Aquarius. So it's not all doom and gloom. It's like the universe is saying for you something better is waiting for you. You need to just walk away from something. Four of Wands coming through here. With the Knight of Wands. Okay. The Hanged Man. These are your opposing forces without any doubt. There is an energy here of trying to decide whether to go after what makes you happy, what makes you passionate, or staying where you are because you have a belief that you need to stay where you are for whatever reason. But you're staying where you are at the risk of your own happiness. So it's almost like you're stuck in this quandary of staying where you are and just putting up with what you're putting up with, which could be quite toxic, or moving forward to this new direction. Because there is a new offer here. And there's a great deal of dissatisfaction where you are now. So definitely what the cards are telling me is that there's some sort of decision you need to make to take a leap of faith at something. You could be dealing with another fire sign, Leo, Sag, or Aries as well. But you have to here put yourself first. You have to let your ego go. Your ego is telling you have to put everybody else before yourself, and it's not the way. All right, let's see what the universe's advice is here. I'd like to pull the Keeper of the Scales. Wow, okay. Fairness and balance, 38. 38. The law of harmony is enacted when the Keeper of the Scales comes to you as an ally. Align with her as the law states, making conscious choices that create balance in your life. When you do, you magically align with the abundance of the universe and the powerful forces of synchronicity. That's what you're trying to do, synchronize your horses. This creates conditions and possibilities that lead to the fulfillment of your highest intentions. Harmony begins with the self and then resonates outwards to others. You're in harmony with yourself when you nurture yourself with love, respect, and acceptance, always fully taking responsibilities for your actions. Only this then can you be in harmony with others. This is because love is the central force that connects all of life and aligns you with like-minded others. If you are in a toxic relationship, remember the reason you're in a toxic relationship was because you didn't love yourself enough. Another message is or you put the other person on a pedestal. Another message is restoration and the positive, fair resolution in all disputes, including those involving the legal system or other important exchanges. The Keeper of the Scales is a just and kind ally, always making sure balance is activated on your path. Well, there you go. I think that was pretty straightforward. Thanks, Aries.